Welcome back to Dummy Boy Finance. I'm Dummy Boy and we're going to get straight into our explosive penny stock watch list. So the first stock we're looking at here is Humble on the daily time frame, up 2.62% today. And again, we are in a consolidation and accumulation zone. I'm going to tell you guys why. Firstly, we are in this gray zone on our fib retracement. So this is from the beginning of our run to the peak of our run. And so usually anytime you can get price action in this gray and in this baby blue, you are getting a better bang for your buck, especially when it's going to go for its next move up. And so right now we are in a great time to be buying up this stock. If you look at our RSI, it is at a 38. So we have been oversold a couple times here when we were in the 70 cents range. And now we are not oversold right now, but we are in a range where we are close. And so overall, we've had our worst case scenario with Humble. We've had our death cross. We've gotten rejected by our 50 SMA right here. And so we are just slowly drifting here. And so the stock is going to continue to trade sideways for the foreseeable future. Once these SMAs all get back close together and these start to coil up is when we're going to start to see the next move in Humble. Right now, we are still cooling off from this massive run that we had in Humble. We had a crazy split of our SMAs. From this point, we just had a strong bull run. And so right now we had our death cross. So I expect us to consolidate in this range for at least a month or two before we start to see these large runs up. Even if we see some large run ups, I do think we will cool back down and we will just consolidate because this is our accumulation zone for Humble. And so every run up has an accumulation time and zone. And the first accumulation zone was right here before our first run up. And so if you're accumulating in this zone, this is where I accumulated my shares, ran it up here. I never ended up selling anything, but here we are looking at the second round of accumulation for the next move up here for Humble. And so overall, this is a startup company that has a long runway. We have barely gotten started with this business. We've barely gotten started with this entire digital asset and digital economy. This is the first or second inning in a whole digital asset environment. And I think Humble is ahead of the curve for any company in blockchain, in NFTs, in digital payments, mobile payments, ETXs, online banking. This is a whole different concept that is going to have a large market cap. Right now trading less than 1 billion. Humble is a steal at these prices. So if you haven't got in on this one, this is the time to be accumulating as much as you can. And that's all we can really say right now here for Humble. Next stock of the day, we're looking at IGEN on the daily time frame. So I updated IGEN, lots of lines right now on my graph. I just wanted to watch this one very closely. You can see right now there are a couple of channels that we've had in a downtrend right now. And so this bottom line of support is the last level of support that I can see here on IGEN. You can already see our RSI has got into oversold territories twice in the last week. And so this is a great sign considering our accumulation continues to go up and our share price keeps going down and we are at oversold territories. It just seems like IGEN cannot go much lower from this point on. We've already tested lows. Our accumulation again is just continuing to go up. And so IGEN is one of my biggest holdings. And if you guys don't know what IGEN does or you want a due diligence package, very condensed, this article is where you should be looking at. Their CEO provided progress update on key initiatives for 2021 and position for growth and market leadership. So I'm not going to go through this. I'm just going to scroll slowly down, but all the due diligence you need to know about this company, what they do, their branches, and how they plan to execute is all written in here. And this is very in-depth and this gives you everything you need to know about this company. And so I think this is a great article for new investors to kind of look at and just to get familiar with IGEN's business model and what markets they plan to tackle. And so overall, again, you guys know this is one of my bigger holdings. I have price targets that are well above the prices right now. This is a company that has a patent approved product now and they have a lot of deals on the table trading under $7 million. So very cheap company that is going to be a buyout candidate and one that could get acquired or have a partnership with. And so at the prices I'm looking at $7 million, I do think that there's a lot of upside here on IGEN than downside. And so overall right now, when I'm looking at a price action, ultimately we want to be above our 50 SMA. And so you could see the last time we were above this point was back here in March. So we have been in a downtrend since February. It's been a long downtrend. I do think we are getting to the end of this downtrend and we should be getting ready for the next move up. One thing I like to see is that our 200 and our 50-day are still very close together. So if the price action curls up here, this will curl up very quickly, and that would be a very nice uptrend. And so overall with IGEN, I'm long and strong, and I continue to buy where I can with this one. Next stock of the day, we're looking at WDLF on the daily time frame. So Social Life Network is now getting destroyed, down 2.5%. It's been getting destroyed since about February as well. Like most of our OTC plays, if we look at our RSI, we have spent a lot of time in oversold territory. So this cannot last forever. And so the fact that we have been in oversold territories for so long, it just had to make sense because we were above overbought territories for a little while as well here. And so then we matched it with some oversold time. So at this point, I do think both runs have negated each other. Our accumulation has been steady. And so overall, we are looking like we are getting to a bottom here on this stock. As the price goes down, our accumulation has been going up. And so at this point right now, WDLF is a strong buy in my opinion. We did get our death cross. So again, this is going to be an accumulation zone where people just need to accumulate and buy as much as they can for the next run up. Because of this death cross, we will probably stay down and just depressed for the next 1 or 2 months here in WDLF. Next stock of the day, we're looking at SEGI on the daily time frame. Up almost 4% today, and this one trades very simple. There is one level of support here on this stock that is the major level of support that we continue to hold here on SEGI. Anytime we've got down to this point, we've held support. You could see our RSI is starting to climb back up. We did, however, get rejected by our 50 SMA. We have gotten our death cross. And so for most of these plays, if you are looking to trade, you want to wait for the price action to get above the 50 SMA, because once you get this death cross, the only way the price action is going to have any strength of momentum is it's once it gets above this point. And so as long as it's below this point, there's no real hurry to buy for a trade. But if you are a long-term investor and you know what you're buying, then this is a great time to be buying and accumulating. And so this is kind of my thoughts and opinions here on SEGI. I think we are in a good accumulation zone for the next move up. Next stock of the day, we're looking at MJNA on the daily. So down 5.62%. I updated the channel here as well. It is clear that we have this little descending pattern right now. And so right now we are at a point where we're holding support that is correlated with the top of our first run here on MJNA. The one thing I just don't like is how bad our distribution has been on this stock. And so the fact that the stock has seen no accumulation, it doesn't give any good signs right now to be getting in. We are getting the death cross here again. And so this is going to be another stock that's going to have a prolonged period of accumulation signaled by our death cross. And so overall with MJNA, you want to see the price action above this top level of resistance and above the 50 if you want to get in. So as federal legalization talks heat up, I believe MJNA will have a bump to its share price, but right now in a descending pattern, getting a death cross. Next stock of the day, we're looking at ALYI on the daily, flat today. And so we had one pretty clear uptrend line for this stock, and we actually are now right below it. So this is very tough to see here for ALYI. This right here was our breakdown, but then today is when we got rejected by our 200, which was also a very bearish signal. And so if I'm looking at our RSI was almost overbought here. Now we are at a 37, getting towards oversold territories. We have seen slight distribution here on ALYI. I still believe the stock is going to recover and it's going to straddle along this uptrend line. If the stock continues to drift lower and this crosses down, that would look very bad for ALYI as well. That would be another death cross. But if it can curl its way back up and we can see the 50 bounce off the 200, this is a great time to be getting in. And so this is a wait and watch here for ALYI. The chart looks a lot better than most of our plays, but this is still one where you should be a little bit patient and just wait to see the price action unfold. Next stock of the day, we're looking at HYSR. Same thing with HYSR. There is one major level of support which is right here, coincides with the peak of our first run, and you can see it's had a ton of interactions as support. And so right now we are right above it, and so as long as we're above this point, there should be no real concerns. You could see that our RSI has also been depressed for a little while. We've had our death cross. We are below all of our SMAs. Now our 200 and our 100 are having a cross to the downside, but overall the one thing I don't like is the distribution on this stock, similar to MJNA. No real hurry to get in this one. This is the biggest indicator that is telling me that this stock is not really going to go anywhere in the short to medium term. Next stock of the day, we're looking at RDGL. So RDGL, again, just trading like butter inside this triangle right here that expires September 2nd. So I don't expect this stock to break out anytime soon. This was a great sign right here. We had a crossover of our 100-day SMA. And so right now our price action is below both of these, but I do expect us to continue to trade in this triangle. I do think we will get down to support here at around 8 cents, 9 cents. And then from that point, we should hold and make our way back out. So you have at least a month and a half to accumulate this stock before it starts to go up. And this is based off of this chart right here. This has been a strong pattern for this stock, and it's had tons of rejections here, and it's been also treated as support. So I am going to continue believing in this pattern until it breaks either up or down. And so right now we are just in the middle. There should be a time where you should accumulate on support and then wait for the test and break of resistance. Next stock of the day, we're looking at ACDC on the daily time frame, down 1.82%. And this stock has a pretty clear pattern as well. It's in a bull flag. We have two levels of support right here. This one is the last level of support that we have on this uptrend, and then this one is our second. And so right now we have been holding the second one very nicely. You could see anytime we got down here, we clawed our way back up, had crazy runs. Right now, however, we are below our 50 SMA. And so we should be looking at a break of this pattern, either down or up within the next month or so. So be very careful with this one. If this one does decide to break down, it is a great buying opportunity for a long-term hold. And if it breaks up, I do expect this one to have a nice little run up. Next stock of the day, we're looking at Job on the daily time frame. So Job is also trading in a very clear pattern right here. We have clear support and resistance here, and so we are on support. So I expect Job to have a nice run up the next week. We have had depressed levels for way too long here, and we should be coming to a point where Job does start to see some sympathy bounces as the economy starts to open. Last but not least, we are looking at SNDL here. So SNDL, again, we have a clear downtrend pattern right now, but we are holding our 200-day SMA. And so in terms of our SMA, we don't look like we are going to get the death cross, which is actually a very great sign, which means that SNDL could have a very explosive run once it breaks past its 50. And that's kind of what I'm waiting for. I want the price action to break past this point, test it, and then run it for the next momentum play. Our accumulation over distribution, though, is not interesting enough for me. It's a lot of distribution, not too much accumulation. So again, I don't really like this as a long-term play, but this is a strong momentum stock. And so that was our quick little update here on our explosive penny stock watch list. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like. We are on the road to 10K subs. So if you made it to this point, feel free to hit that subscription button. It's Dummy Boy Finance. I'm Dummy Boy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.